Morning here in Camp Macetators, where it reeks of death. 10th time here on Island Pico Muerta. I just got yelled at because I thought Taters was live blogging her warming of soup over there, but apparently not. She was just talking. Oh, wow.
I was talking to you, not the video.
Hey, Jen, maybe drink some cold brew. It seems to cheer you up a little. You were really giggly yesterday.
Canned soup has been working out well for us as a way to break up the Cliff Bars and such during the day. It's something we wouldn't carry backpacking because it's heavy, but it kind of checks the other boxes as far as being affordable, shelf stable, fairly nutritious. So
not trail food that I get sick of.
So the routine is every morning as we're packing up, I heat up a can of soup and then pour it into this awesome Yeti mug that we got in Bemidji, and then drink it throughout the morning.
This actually was a cozy little campsite, as long as you ignore the poison ivy and the stench of death that seems to pervade our tent. All sorts of cool camp spots back here. And it doesn't smell as death as much back here, but there is more of the poison ivy. I was half expecting that we were going to pull away the tent to find like a half-buried hand or a dead turtle or something based on this. I want to go back to paddling last night. It was so nice. Stay tuned on Macetators on the Mississippi for whether either of us is susceptible to poison ivy, because pretty sure we ended up getting some unavoidable exposure there on Little Death Island. On the move once again, and it's sunny and beautiful, which means in about 10 minutes it could be thunder, lightning, tornadoes, God knows what. Life on the river. I am really curious what these little structures we keep seeing are. We're seeing them like tipped over and tied to trees. This is the first one I think we've seen that's actually upright and doesn't look like it's falling apart. So I'm normally not a cold brew person. I want my coffee so hot that it's practically like burning on the way down. And by practically, I mean like my doctor and dentist are concerned by the scorch marks. But this is actually really good. Or I'm just enjoying finally feeling caffeinated, because it feels like we have not been getting enough sleep. Since we like paddling at night, we're often not getting to camp until 9 o'clock or later. So, it's 11:30 sometimes by the time we're asleep, after we've eaten and finished our Utrecht episode and everything. So not enough sleep. So it's either do something drastic like get enough sleep, which who has the patience for that? And I can't sleep in. I wake up naturally around 5. Or just drink coffee until the need goes away. And by need goes away, not Taters need to pee, which I swear her bladder has been shrinking this trip. It's like a thimble, but a thimble made for a baby. And you know what I like about that mask? You can't tell that she's disapproving right now. She is trying her hardest to glare, but you can't even see like the crinkling of the eyes, the pursed lips, anything. She might have a Karen hairdo going on, and you couldn't tell because she's so covered. That was a good purchase on my part. You held it together remarkably well, Jen. Good job. Good job. You okay there? So this is Davenport. We've basically got tow barges going back and forth, plus some other ship traffic. So we're staying out of the channel, but staying out in the middle, so we're nice and clear. Problem is, if you get too close to the barges, they can't always see. So we don't want to be too close to something that's parked only to have them start moving, not realizing we're there. We're having all sorts of fun out here. So we have a radio and we're able to hear the tugs talking, and we anytime we get close to them, we turn that on, just try and get a sense of what they're doing. But the challenge can be if somebody starts moving, like one of these work barges just started coming out to the left of us, we can't always see their names, so we would have to look them up on the phone, which probably takes about 20 seconds, and then try and hail them and say, oh, hey, we're behind you, hey, watch out, which at that point they're already moving and their stopping distance ain't great. Big bridge, little boat. So this is lock 15, and it seems like pretty much nothing is standard. There's always something different at every lock. So here you can see there's actually a boat in the main lock, but when we called them, they said it'll be about 10 minutes, go to the auxiliary lock, which is on the right. So I guess it is operating here, despite the fact it's a Thursday.
So this is about the 16th lock that we've gone through, and while there seems to mostly be a second chamber, we've never seen it in operation before. We wanted to talk to him and see what the story was, but there was so much background noise we couldn't get anybody to talk to us at this one. So we just sat there, relaxed, and listened to the train and traffic noise.
So this is kind of loud compared with the earlier parts of the river.
Fish. It reminds me of our happy little clownfish.
Oh, they were dicks. That looks like a bigger leak than any of the others. So it was far too loud to ask him any questions. We basically just waved back and forth. We're not sure why this one operates the auxiliary and all the others do not. However, it saved us quite a bit of time because they're in the middle of a double lock there, meaning they pushed the barges out and the tow is currently going through. Oh, the damn fun zone. And now we have big water and a tow coming out behind us. That's our friend that was in the lock next to us. We could just barely hear on the radio over the wind and the train and everything. The lock and him talking about how we were in the middle of the channel, so he waited till we cleared. So it's been about 6 hours to go 15 miles, which is a little slower than usual, and it's just discouraging. The headwind doesn't let up. It's not as bad as that one day, but it just makes things feel so slow. We just came over because we've been talking about potentially getting a cooler along the way, and then we saw something that sure as heck looked like a cooler. Oh, no lid though. We've finally been able to move half decently. We're basically on the left side of a little island chain. The main chain's over that way, and it's acting as a bit of a windbreak for us.
It's about 7 o'clock and it seems like the reptiles have mostly turned in for the night. We've been seeing turtles on logs like these all day long, probably saw 40, 50 of them. And one, what we think is a northern water snake that was pretty big but pretty well camouflaged in with the log. Ooh.
He's playing hide and seek with you.
He is.
And once again, a slightly less than ideal camp, but plenty of things that'll work. Not so great camping, but lots of lightning bugs. And this will do after a fashion.
After a little bit of a tough morning, getting through the very busy city of Davenport, fighting a slight headwind, we got into the Andalusia Slough and had hours of really calm, relaxing paddling. We are camped shortly before Loch 16 on an island inhabited by lots of swallows and about 1 million fireflies. Home sweet home for the night.